Young Lee comes through as the lock of the night prediction for UFC Vegas 85 at minus 138, one of the better odds that we end up hitting on for our lock of the night plays, and that now increases our 2024 record for the lock of the night prediction to 6-1 for a plus 9.73 unit profit, as well as a 28% ROI. Amazing start to the year through the first 6-ish weeks of the year. We got 3 UFC events under our belt now, not to mention a couple of regional events as well, which we've been getting lock of the night plays from. The only lock of the night play that did not hit this year was for the KSW card, but a little bit of an oversight for me there, being a little bit too frugal, if that's what you want to call it, in terms of picking my spot there. But continuing to hit them, especially a guy like Young Lee at the odds that we're getting him, obviously it increases the confidence, and we got to keep that rolling going into UFC Vegas 86, where I have another 3 best prop bets for you guys. But just a quick note here, if you guys are looking forward to the regional events that are going down this weekend as well, we got 3 of them. We got ACA, we got LFA, and then we got OKTAGON as well. 3 big promotions overseas, not to mention LFA, obviously a big promotion over here. If you're looking for breakdowns for those, I do a best bets and best predictions article for all 3 of those strictly on the Patreon page. So make sure you guys check out the link in the description below for that. I'm already getting to work on the OKTAGON fights since the odds have dropped for those. LFA and ACA should be following shortly. Those fights are on Friday and Saturday. Again, check the Patreon page, the Lock of the Night Patreon page, to get access to those, so you guys can have an appetizer before the UFC Vegas 86 card. All right, I got 3 Lock of the Night candidates for you guys for this weekend's card. Reminder, if you want to find out which one I'm actually going to be making my official Lock of the Night prediction, you can also find that on the Lock of the Night Patreon page. Description is where the link will be. All right, let's get into the first candidate up that I have for you guys here. It's going to be in the form of Hyra Amil, who comes in at minus 190. He's going to be making his UFC debut here against a short notice replacement in Fernie Garcia. Now, Fernie Garcia is normally a bantamweight who's taken this fight on a 3-fight losing streak and up a weight class. He'll be having a 3-inch height and reach disadvantage in this matchup against the grappler Amil. Amil is a relentless, all gas, no breaks type of fighter, a guy that likes to move forward, put pressure on his opponents, utilizing his grappling, waiting until he eventually breaks his opponents, or grinding them out over 15 minutes and getting a decision. His contract winning performance on the Contender Series this past season was one of the more grueling performances that you'll ever see, and that's just a further testament to how good of a grappler and grinder this fighter is. So I think with the size advantage, him having the longer training camp and being the better grappler here will allow him to nullify the striking advantage that Fernie Garcia will hold, but should still be able to grind this fight out and get his hand raised by decision, I think convincingly enough to be a Lock of the Night candidate. The second Lock of the Night candidate that I have is going to be in the form of a total. We got the under 1.5 in the Robert Birek and Hyra Potiaria fight, which currently comes in at minus 260. A little bit chalky here, but both of these guys are the types to go out there and get fights done early. Birek has finished all 5 of his last opponents in the first round, whereas Potiaria, when he does get his hand raised, normally comes under that 1.5 round mark as well. Both of these guys throw with a lot of power, a lot of heat, and considering the fact that Potiaria is going to be looking to make his middleweight debut for this matchup, at least in the UFC that is, you gotta wonder how much of a weight cut or an issue that the weight cut will have on him, and his durability and his ability to take the power that Birek is going to be bringing over to his first UFC fight. It should be a coin flip of a fight in terms of who's going to be able to land first. Could be the person that ends up getting their hand raised, which is why I'm a little bit sketched out by the minus 195 money line on Birek. But given his speed, athleticism, and in my opinion, power advantage, he should be able to knock out Potiaria in the first round here, which is why I don't mind that minus 260 under 1.5 in case Potiaria is the one that ends up getting his hand raised, getting that early stoppage as well. So give me Birek, but most importantly, the under 1.5 chalky price. I get it, but I feel like this is one of those fights where it's worth it. Minus 260. That is the second Lock of the Night prediction. The third and final lock of the night prediction / candidate is going to be in the co-main event in the form of Dan Ige. He's going up against Andre Fili this weekend, and you can currently get Ige around that minus 165 line. Ige is far superior to Fili in my opinion. He's the crisper boxer, has a little bit more power in his hands, and he can take the grapple heavy approach if that's what he chooses to do. Andre Fili, on the other hand, a little bit more unorthodox with his striking approach, is susceptible to getting grinded out as well. And I think he just leaves too many openings in terms of the type of boxing that Ige is going to present here with his counter striking. His forward movement has high tight guard, which will open up countering opportunities, and that should eventually land on Fili. And it could even potentially translate into a knockout here. I like Ige a lot in this spot, especially considering also the short notice nature that Mr. Andre Fili is taking this fight on as well. And that's why Ige is the third and final lock of the night candidate. Again, which one am I going to be going with? Check the lock of the night prediction page or Patreon page. A link for that is in the description below. I've already released it to the Patreon folks. Get in on it before the price gets worse. Let's see if we can keep this run going and make it 7-1 on the lock of the night predictions for the year. I'll see you guys again tomorrow for the top 3 dog of the night candidates. See you guys then. Peace.